My name is Pius Oyugi Odhiambo, and I'm the fourth child of Mzee Lucas Odhiambo Madiany and Mama Celestina Akongo Odhiambo, who are with us here today. I'm excited to celebrate the 88th birthday of my dad, Jaduong Lucas Odhiambo Madiany, and thank you so much for accepting my invitation over a short notice. Your presence means a lot to my family. This is the first time my dad is celebrating his birthday, and he has missed 87 birthdays. His parents, the late Jaduong Dominic Madiany Piroda Adong Okeo Masiro, and his wife, the late Resia Nyaoro Nyaroyugi from Alego Karuoth, never celebrated birthdays. The same applies to my dad and my mother. I have also never celebrated my birthday, but planning to do one soon. Having interacted with foreign cultures worldwide, I have come to realize that birth needs to be celebrated as much as when one is dead, because if you are not born, you will not be available for death. So why celebrate death and ignore birth? We need to celebrate those who matter to us when they are still alive, and thus the reason for this function. Today, I'm celebrating my father for being a peaceful family man. My mother has always been the head of our family. She makes decisions that has driven our family to successful pathway. My father has created a peaceful operation environment for my mother to lead. This is a testimony that a woman can lead a family and the man is still treated with dignity and a lot of respect. As I grow up, I remember my dad playing with soccer or pitch juala after a day of hard work in the papyrus swamps. There is no moment I enjoyed with my father like or pitch juala. Sometimes my mama used to come out and say, Lucas, we got to go kamano, and then we would run away and disappear. My dad will then follow us and bring us back to play. This is what I did in the United States of America for many years with my children to allow my wife go back to school. I did not know that my dad was preparing me for life in America very early in life. When my mama visited me in America, she told me that what you are doing now is exactly what your dad used to do when you were young. Today, I'm here to encourage men from our community to play with their children as mothers prepare traditional delicious meals in the kitchen. It helps in the development of the mind of the child, such children do not grow up with trauma and are likely to succeed in life. On the same note, I want to encourage our ladies from our community that if God has given them the opportunity to be the head of the family, please, they should not use that opportunity to disrespect their husbands. They should do it in a manner that brings honor to God and the community at large. I remember my father being a personal assistant for the late Mzee John Muyoma Opondo, who died a couple of years ago at the age of 100 years. Mzee Muyoma Opondo served in the colonial military abroad in countries such as South Africa, Kosovo, among others. He was a Marshal and a contractor trained at the prestigious Kabete Technical Institute, currently known as Kabete Technical Polytechnic. My father attended Ndenga Primary School and sat for common entrance exams in a year that he cannot remember. He then proceeded to Sega Intermediary School and dropped out of school due to lack of financial resources. Maybe that is I'm very crazy with sponsoring vulnerable children so that they don't drop out of school like my father. After school, he started his career as a village craftsman and made the best granaries and papyrus mats in the village. I remember vividly how I used to escort him while delivering these items to customers. One day, we delivered a small granary to the late Japuonj Oyugarandiga, the former principal of St. Mary's Ukwala High School. He was so happy with the work, and the wife, Mrs. Veronica Oyuga, decided to serve us with a delicious meal. And I ate to the extent that walking back home was a problem, and my dad decided to carry me on his shoulders. He was also very gifted in making traditional houses. He was a specialist on roofing grass thatch houses. He then relocated to Kampala, Uganda in search of greener pastures, where he worked as a security officer. After that, he tried his luck again in Mombasa, where he worked in a quarry owned by his brother-in-law. His nephew, Otieno Makanda, who is here in the congregation, understands that story very well. At the end of his tour of duty in these towns, he permanently relocated home and worked for the late John Muyoma in the construction sites as a handyman. I remember one day when the late John Muyoma was constructing the present-day Sega Girls High School, fondly known as Kasista. My father had his fingers cut in the construction site by an iron sheet he was working on. My father also used to burn charcoal. One day, while on top of a big tree, trying to cut its branches so that he can make charcoal to enable him put food on the table for his family, he fell down and broke his wrist. I remember my mother going around in the village to borrow a bicycle because we did not own one. To take my dad to hospital, and after a long search, the late Jadwong Randa gave out his brand new bicycle to take my dad to hospital. At that point, I did not know how to ride a bicycle, and we had to look for someone who knows how to ride a bicycle. The late Ochieng Udo Yugi Petro is the one who rode him on a bicycle to hostel. After a brief stay at the hostel, my dad had to stay away from work for a very long time. I remember one time I was also bitten by a snake on a Sunday morning. My cousin Joseph Oyengo Muyoma was in college at that time and happened to be around for holidays. When he heard about it, he rushed to our house with a razor blade and a permanganate and started administering first aid to me. The snake bite did not kill me because of my cousin Joseph Oyengo, who had gone to college and learned the skill of administering first aid. One time, when Oyengo also gave me a blanket, and for the first time, I enjoyed my sleep because I used to sleep in a sack. Another cousin of mine, by the name Michael Ochola, heard that I was struggling with school fees and decided to register me for the national exams. Life was very beautiful and communal. People used to help one another without asking for money. I miss these days. Going by present day professions, you would describe my father as a technician or a village engineer. These little things that my dad did together with others when we were young that made us to be what we are today is what we are celebrating today. As a family, we thank God for giving my dad long life, my wife Roslyn and children Effie and Edith, my children Effie and Edith, and I wish him well in the remaining years. God is going to give him to stay with us here on earth. And of course, such a speech cannot end without reciting my family tree. And today, I'm going to recite my family tree, starting with one of our own, Dr. Michelle Atieno Ouma, who is a Bachelor of Pharmacy student at the prestigious Kenyatta University. Nyinga and Michelle Atieno Ouma, Michelle nyar Ouma chege ka oduor ka Madiany, Madiany ka Muyoma, Muyoma ka Ochola ka Handulo ka Gor ka Riak ka Umbugulu ka Ochieng, and Ochieng ka Ndolo. I learned this from my late uncle, the late Mzee John Muyoma, and he used to give us a quiz to narrate or name our grandfathers up to the 10th generation. Today, I've just done it up to the 12th generation. Thank you so much.